Oh, it tells me to avoid legal snags. I'm supposed to tell you both that you're being recorded.
Oh.
I'm legally obliged to tell you I have my pants off.
Gary, on the kick drum. Come. Gary, welcome in to the Bro Force Squad podcast. This is episode 64. We're just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. I am your host, Jeff Hornacek. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. 64 is a special number in my heart because I still think, pound for pound, the Nintendo 64 is the best video game console ever made. Feel free
No
to
doubt.
at us and
No
we'll
doubt.
fight you. Before we get started, want to give a quick shout out to Henrik, really good friend of the pod. I fucked this up a few weeks ago. I meant to do this. His daughter Luna was kind enough to make that banner Chewbacca ringtone, and I think I gave Henrik credit last time, but he said Luna was the one who went back through, I believe it was our Rogue One commentary, you poor thing, and had to listen to all of that and edit it. So thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. And I know I speak for everyone, especially Banner, when he says that it will live on forever. But let's get into it and meet the fellow bros with me today. First, we go to the American hero, Nate Thurmond. Nate, you and I got really drunk last Friday night and played Mario Party on the Nintendo Switch. And I have to ask, was beating the River Survival Challenge on hard difficulty the greatest accomplishment of our lives?
I mean, it's definitely one of the greatest accomplishments in the past 9 years, 8 years for me. That's only being topped by in college when we beat Zelda front to back on the previously mentioned
Wow.
N64, one of the greatest consoles of all time. And I will still contest that the Water Temple, toughest fucking temple. No, it's not the last one. That fucking water rating and everything fucking kills me every time.
I remember for the first time in my life playing that as a kid saying, you can't beat it. It's impossible to beat.
And
Like,
then
for-
breaking a controller against the wall.
Right, legitimately thinking that Nintendo had fucked me and made a game that was impossible.
Why would you make a game if you can't beat it?
I don't understand. we don't negotiate with terrorists. And next to our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger. Matt, I actually wanted to take this opportunity to invite you to the Minnesota Lynx game with me this next weekend. I was able to get third row tickets or seats and parking. Are you in?
Yeah, sorry, I was busy playing with tits while you nerds were talking about Zelda, but yeah, I'm definitely in. What's wrong with the first two rows? Are they under construction? Because there's no fucking way there'll be any asses in those seats.
I was worried that if we were that close to the action, they would be able to hear us heckle them, and I would not be surprised if they legitimately stopped playing because we affected them. Like, what did you fucking say to me? Like, this doesn't happen to me at other sporting events.
That's for the fan to decide.
Yay! All right, if you guys have not checked out our show before, or even if you have, we start every episode with the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chest day. So today we actually have a kind of a special chest day. We're going to do a dealer's choice. So when we were texting the past few days pre-pod to figure out how we wanted to do this episode, we all had three different things we wanted to talk about. So instead of voting or coming to some compromise like real fucking adults, we all just decided we're going to do our own topic for chest day. So a dealer's choice, if you will. I guess we'll just go around the triangle of death here. Matt, what did you have for your dealer's choice of chest day? What did you want to discuss?
So I want to talk about this Batman casting rumors that are just flooding the internet. Obviously, we've done, goddamn Jeff, how many fucking episodes on if Affleck's in or out? We haven't
I
done
think
any
three
recently.
consecutive episodes is the problem. Like
Well,
three straight.
There was three straight about if Matt Reeves was in or out. Matt Reeves is in. He's doing the Batman in 2021. Affleck is out. He is not directing, not writing. He is not being Batman at all. So who is going to be? I've heard fan casting on Charlie Cox. I've heard, of course, John Hamm's name came out. Now, Reeves has been on record saying he wants a younger Batman. Armie Hammer, of course, has come out. Robert Pattinson, for some reason. But I'm going to give you Geiger's fan casting right here. And it is Michael Cera.
Okay.
Go on.
You're
No,
fucking with us, right?
no, I'm not. And this is why. Give
God,
me
here we
straight up
go.
Adam West. You fuckers can't get it right anyway. So it's kind of like whenever your kid is like, dude, he's not going to be good at sports. So let's just give him a fucking like tuba or something. Maybe he can be in band, but he's not good at sports. Let's just not let him be the emo kids that cut himself at lunch. So maybe he can be in band. Warner Brothers cannot get this fucking right. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. So just make it a comedy. Why not? It's something they haven't done. Okay, let's pretend they're going to make a dark and ominous Batman movie. It's not going to connect to anything. You got a younger Batman. Are you doing it in like Earth 2 or 3? Are you going to go that route? Because the DCU is totally fucked. Aquaman's a good movie. You're probably going to ruin the second one. You got Wonder Woman coming out, Shazam. It's a totally different tone. I'm guessing Reeves wants to go dark with his Planet of the Apes tone. I'm guessing. But why not just turn it into a comedy? Why fucking not? You've already fucked it over.
There are two things that I'd heard about this movie that actually kind of give me hope. The first one is Matt Reeves said that it's going to feature several of Batman's rogues gallery. So again, I've been holding out hope for an Arkham Asylum adaptation for a while. So I'm hoping something like that happens. The second thing I heard is that there's still a chance that Affleck could narrate the movie as an older Bruce Wayne, and this could be like a 17 or 18-year-old Batman that we see in the film.
So where do they go from there?
Well, it being a prequel, I feel like you can take a few more liberties just because the thing it would have to connect to has already been made, essentially.
But we'll get no Justice League unless you recast. Well, you can't recast him because the first time he met Superman was in BVS. So you couldn't even recast any of them and have a younger Justice League at all. That wouldn't make sense. The only thing, and this is going way above Warner Brothers' heads, like this is like giving credit, to someone that does not deserve credit. But he did say a younger Batman. You could have a younger Batman that is a Dick Grayson and just have Keaton be an older Bruce Wayne and actually tie this in, which is what we want anyway, and tie this into the original Batman and Batman Returns and have Keaton and all the older villains back. How sick would it be to have like Jack Nicholson back as the Joker and have a younger Batman be either Dick Grayson or Jason Todd? You do have a young Batman, but it's a Robin character playing him. But that's just giving Warner Brothers way too much credit. There's no fucking way they're talking about a goddamn Super Pets movie right now as we fucking speak, which makes me want to throw up in my toilet.
You could cater to the women audience and get their lady boners going by getting Zac Efron in there or something.
There we go. Cast him as everything. We'll get into this in Protein Shake. Is that because of the Super Pets movie, or was that because of...
No, she was like growling because you said Zac Efron. I don't know. It's just a thing women
What's
do.
he got that I don't got? Don't answer that question.
Lady boners are already raging.
Talent.
I don't know.
I'd want to hang with him. I'm forced to hang out with you.
Anytime people ask me, do you know Zac Efron, I always like to quote Star-Lord in Avengers Infinity War when they say, you know Thor? He goes, yeah, medium height guy, not that good looking. We met him. That's what I say about Zac Efron. Sorry. All right, Geiger, I feel your pain on this. Obviously, I love the Batman movies. I loved Affleck as Batman. I know the Justice League adaptation, at least once Whedon took over, kind of neutered his brooding character that we got in BVS. But I don't know. I take no pleasure in seeing the DCEU have to recast so many people. And the fact that we only got him for 2 movies, I'm always going to wonder what could have been. So hopefully that works out. And good luck with the Michael Cera prediction.
Thanks.
Nate, we'll toss it over to you. What is your dealer's choice for chest day tonight?
Hey, guys. Glad to be on. The one thing I wanted to talk about is really the rise of all of the new streaming platforms. I mean, it's been rising for the past couple of years, but I really feel like 2018 is really when it took off. You have Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon as like the big players in it. But a lot of my time lately has been dedicated to watching things on Amazon Prime or watching things on Netflix because the content that they're putting out is pretty great right now. They're throwing a lot of money out there. I know there's a new deal with Scorsese and DiCaprio that just got mentioned recently, and Netflix.
God,
I don't even know how much money Netflix threw at Adam Sandler for his shitty movies that he's putting out. Which, side note to that, if you haven't seen a stand-up on there that they released recently, it's actually pretty great.
Yeah.
To watch. It's a cool.
Is?
Yeah, it's a cool concept how they did it.
He has a tribute song to Chris Farley that people say is like incredible.
It's great. Yeah, it's really great. But I mean, even at that, I'm pretty excited to see like over the next year or so, like where Netflix and all these other streaming services go. I mean, all my cable now I watch through DirecTV Now, which is straight streaming. I don't need a box. I don't need a satellite or anything. So it's kind of the way.
It's some guy that says I'll be there between 12 and 4 p.m. the next day.
I'll be there between June 7th and August 6th.
Do you have a job? Yeah, that's how I fucking pay you for the cable.
I don't know what you expect me to do here. Do you want me to get out there and lay line with you too? I don't know. What are we doing? Do we not have anything out here? But even with I think it was Twitter and I know it was Amazon. They were broadcasting like Thursday night NFL football games. One time I was on Amazon trying to shop, and it was like at the top, and it was delayed from my TV, and it's kind of pissing me off actually because I saw it before it happened. But I mean, they're throwing tons of money at people, and it's amazing what they're doing. And it's like the golden age of TV now these days. And I mean, back in the 90s and early 2000s, like movies were where all the movie stars were. I mean, hell, you'll see fucking everyone on TV now. You'll see him doing Netflix movies with Sandra Bullock doing Bird Box. But
yeah, if you don't have a TV show, then like we're not even like.
Gyllenhaal's red hot right now. Check out our review on his newest Netflix movie. You got Pesci and De Niro and Pacino scheduled to come out whenever De Niro feels like he actually wants to drop it on there.
Yeah, is The Irishman real? Is what I want to know.
I haven't looked into it, but I think it was Hulu or Amazon.
De Niro listens. I'll tell you, man. I've never voted. I will register and vote against Trump next presidential election if you just release that fucking movie so I can see it. Because that's the only way he'll do it. Is if Geiger actually votes for somebody, and I will vote against Trump. Just fucking put the movie on Netflix. I'm dying to see this.
I haven't seen anything recently, but I know in the past year or so I heard something. It was either Amazon or Hulu who signed a deal with Woody Allen, I believe.
Wow.
You guys know
was
anything
this before his little sexual assault? You know, he's been victimized by the Me Too movement. Pretty hard.
I think it was before. I don't know. That's all a blur now. I'm trying to block some of that out of my mind as well. So.
One thing I wanted to add to that, we actually, by the way, like Geiger said, check out our Velvet Buzzsaw review that Cycly and I did on, just to your point, Nate, Jake Gyllenhaal was in the Netflix original movie that had Toni Collette, who was in Hereditary. Rene Russo was great in it. John Malkovich is in the movie. Roma, another Netflix original, nominated for Best Picture. The Irishman is coming out soon. Triple Frontier is on our 2019 preview pod, my most anticipated movie with Ben Affleck, Charlie Hunnam, Oscar Isaac, Garrett Hedlund. That comes out in March. And as a number that we quoted on the Velvet Buzzsaw review, Alex English, friend of the pod, told me this over text about a week ago. Netflix last year alone released over 90 Netflix original movies, which to me seemed insane. And also now I'm hearing a rumor, and this is no surprise with the Fox Disney merger, but there is a rumor that the New Mutants film will be picked up by Hulu, as opposed to having a theatrical release. So,
yeah, and I vaguely remember hearing something recently with Jennifer Aniston, and is Facebook trying to do something streaming?
I know they have that deal with MLB to air like 40 baseball games. I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting in. Facebook is pretty much dying, so if they can get anyone to do anything with them.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about that, and I think there was someone else tied to it as well. I can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head.
But to your point, Hulu now.
That's smart of the MLB, though, Jeff. I mean, the most boring game trying to attract a demographic of millennials that can't even concentrate for 2 seconds, because who doesn't want to miss the next pitch when that hot chick with the great ass from biology fucking hits you up on Facebook? I mean, I'm going to finish the game before I see what she says.
Yeah, right in between poking her, go ahead and check out who's coming in to relieve for the Braves.
Yeah, right.
Here in the 8th. That's my pitch right there. That's
you go lefty versus righty?
That's Billy McFarland's pitch, because he can fucking sell anything. He's the visionary behind Magnesis. By the way, loved your guys' take on the Fire documentary last week. Wish I could have been on for that.
But yeah, that's about all I got for that. I'm actually gonna talk a little bit more about some of the Netflix stuff coming up, but I'll turn it back over to you.
Could not agree more with that take. Mine, again, this is something I bring up all the time. I'm not going to talk about Mission Impossible Fallout as much as Geiger wanted me to. What I am going to talk about, though, is the network that it will inevitably be playing on because they have all the other Mission Impossible movies, and that is FX. So here's what I want to say about FX. Is FX the best cable channel for movies? I'll answer that. Yes. But if one is better, let's fight about it. Action, comedy, superhero movies, they cover all the bases. And yes, they play a lot of shitty movies. But the shitty movies they play, two things. Well, number one, we fucking watch them when they're on TV. All right? So don't even act like you don't. And number two, they're fun. So let's compare them to some of the other cable networks that are somewhat comparable, right? TNT mainly focuses on some original series, but then they also play a lot of sports, which I'm not going to hold against them. But in a lot of sports, I mean the NBA. But that hurts them in terms of movies.
Mm-hmm.
They play too much bullshit reality TV programming. TBS doesn't have near the variety. I think they mainly play comedy movies and like rom-coms.
Yeah.
But granted, they do have a strong stable of Christmas movies. Like I think A Christmas Story is the one holding that up. That's the one that plays on there every year at like year
24 hours.
Yeah. 24 hours, excuse me. Sadly, I think at this point we've outgrown the Disney Channel, guys. You go look at what's playing on Disney Channel; it's all fucking kids shit. Like
they don't have fucking Xena or Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century on there anymore. I'm out.
Or Xenon the Zequel. I mean, what are we?
World, Smart Guy.
Yeah, where's all that shit?
Smart Guy.
I think we should go back, by the way, just as a bit of an aside, as a podcast, and do commentaries on like the top 5 Disney Channel original movies. Because
Johnny
Tsunami, Brink, Smart
Brink.
House, Luck of the Irish.
Better.
We're
Eddie's
totally.
$1 million cook-off.
I've never heard of that.
When the kid, he didn't know if he wanted to play first base in the championship game or be part of the cook-off because he loved cooking. That's a really good one.
I'm kind of sold.
I'll take your word for it.
And then the last one, and I know Thurman will be partial to this one for the sole reason that they have Shawshank Redemption. But AMC, which is probably the best competitor here. But the one thing they lack is obviously newer movies because it's American Movie Classics. Or is that what it's? Regardless of what
American Movie Channel or Classics, I can't remember.
I think it's Classics. Yeah.
Right. Still, they primarily play older movies like early 90s on, and then they also sort of lack the variety. Like it's mostly dramas, which is fine, but I think where FX really boasts the edge is in its variety. And part of that, the FX, if you go to FX now, has The Revenant currently playing. And then they also have Ice Age.
Yeah, FXX is a good channel too, like their sub channel. FX is basically Spike with a brain.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, as much as AMC, American Movie Classics, or I think it's Classics, whatever. I mean, they're kind of focused on putting out new TV content as well because they got Breaking Bad and I believe Better Call Saul is on AMC as well.
Yes, that does sound right.
It would make sense, but yeah.
And they had Mad Men as well, if I remember.
Yes, I knew there was another one. That's it.
So FX has some really good shows too, like The Americans and It's Always Sunny and stuff like that. But for me, very rarely do I
have Sons of Anarchy, which is a great show.
Shit, that's right. They had that one season of Taboo that we tried for like 8 seconds.
Yeah, I can't believe Always Sunny is still on. I mean, it's a great show. It's funny, but it's like in its like 16th season or something.
Yeah, good for that. What was the futures bet if you would have somehow said that their show was going to last 16 fucking years when it started?
Yeah.
So that's all I really wanted to do was suck FX's dick for like 7 minutes because we always kind of joke about movies like when we see a movie like, oh, this shit'll be on FX in a year. And we do kind of mean it as a jab, but at the same time, like we're their demo, I feel like.
I.e. Skyscraper.
Absolutely.
Skyscraper is so built for FX. Oh my god!
I'm watching FX right now, and 22 Jump Street's playing. Next is Ted.
There you go.
And then The Boss. With
solid back to back.
Okay, that's a swing and a miss.
So I can't defend that. But then after that, you could have Iron Man 2. They have all the Marvel movies right now, which is probably going to go away once this Fox deal goes through.
Inferno's after that. I'd watch that.
Sure. And then like you can get a shitty they have all the Taken. I don't know why they play Taken 3 more than they play Taken 1, but I digest.
Can
Are
you
you
follow the
thinking
plot
Foxy's
if you
on
don't see
tomorrow?
the first one?
At this point, he's just a bad parent. I think that's what Deadpool says.
Yeah.
All right, I think that will do it for our chest day. I'm glad everyone got to get that off their chest. It's, I think, really therapeutic for us all to fucking get something in.
That's
here.
good. I like that.
It's healthy. And now we move on to the second part of our show, which is our protein shake, where we will go around the triangle. Maybe we can even like do a couple, and then the next person goes because I have like 8. And we see what's in all of our cups, aka what have we watched lately. So movies or TV, could be from the 1900s or could be something that you saw in theaters 11 minutes ago. We just want to talk about the shit we've watched lately. Maybe even do some mini reviews if more than one person have seen something. So Nate, we'll go to you first. What's a few things you've seen recently, movies or TV?
Going along with my theme of me sitting on my ass on my couch and just watching Netflix in my spare time.
Fat fuck.
Yeah, so I'm going to revisit, and for anyone out there who has not seen the Adam Sandler stand-up that was released late 2018, I believe, it's really well done, and I was kind of hesitant about it because honestly he's kind of fallen off the map in the past couple of years, and especially, in my opinion, the shit movies that he's put on Netflix with the ridiculous things.
He's got to earn it from us again.
Yeah.
By the way, what's it called? I actually don't think I know the title of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Uh-huh. That's it. Okay. Honestly, I don't know.
Just type in Adam Sandler, it'll probably come up.
I don't know. Google it. Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, lazy pieces of shit. Come on, guys.
I don't know. Look it up on your phone. But so basically, he did a tour across the country, and they filmed every single one of them. And so they'll be filming, and you'll be watching in one venue, and then it will seamlessly cut to the next one. He'll still be doing the same song, but it will cut into the next venue. It's mainly a lot of him singing funny songs. I mean, he kind of was known to make his fame on that with Hanukkah's song, obviously.
So what's the percentage you would say of music to stand-up? Because I actually don't think I've ever seen him do stand-up, but I know he's musically inclined.
100%
Honestly,
fresh, Thurman.
Is that what it is?
100?
100% fresh. That's what it's called.
Holy shit.
It's like, it's mainly singing, but it's good. It's funny. It's like, honestly, probably like 80 to 90% singing his songs. And yes, to your point, what you said earlier and what you have heard, yes, the Chris Farthing one is awesome. If you shed a few tears during it, I will not hold anything against you. It's really great.
I started to watch, or I saw maybe a YouTube clip of it, and just the photos they were putting behind him of Chris Farley, I was struggling a little. There was something in my eye. That's all that I'll say.
Yeah, I was just, you were too busy sucking off FX and got a little semen in there.
That's all it was.
That's it. That's all. Another one that recently watched on Netflix, actually last night, was Abducted in Plain Sight, which is a new documentary on Netflix about a kidnapping in the 70s in, drawing a blank on it right now. I can't remember where it's at exactly. Somewhere in America. But it's really fucked up. And it's not necessarily fucked up for the reasons that there's pedophilia in it, which is part of it, but just the scenarios that happen in the documentary and the parents allowing these things to happen. It's basically two families that are pretty close together, and one of the dads is obsessed with one of the daughters, and it goes from there. Not to give out too many spoilers, but you'll be sitting there on your couch saying, how the fuck is this happening, and how naive are the parents of the daughter to let this continue to happen, because it goes on for years. But
what the fuck?
Really easy watch.
I don't think I could watch this. I've heard of this.
Really?
I don't think I could watch this.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half. It's an easy watch. You can knock it out pretty quick, but you get frustrated wanting to yell at their parents.
Well, Geiger, as someone who already says, and for rightfully so, I don't fucking trust anyone. He'd be watching the show arms folded with a beer and saying like, well, it's the goddamn neighbor, you idiot.
So, well, the funny thing is, I don't know if it's going to be too much of a spoiler, but they know who it is like the whole time, and it just goes on continually. And there's things that they let the neighbor just still have contact with the daughter. And like I said, obviously I don't want to downplay the pedophilia of it and him molesting her, but I knew that was going to be in there. It's just the stupidity of the parents and how this continues to happen for like 8 years. But it's a good watch. Go watch it.
Thurman, I have a question for you, and the way
fucked
you answer this is if I'll watch it or not. Do you still think Thriller is a good song?
That is like such a loaded question.
I know.
The
Figure out
definition-
he's playing this. No,
If
it's
you
not.
say no, I'm not going to watch it because if I can't hear Thriller the same, I do not want to watch it.
Oh, I love Thriller. I love it. It's so
Okay.
good. Doing the dance right now.
His mouth says one thing, but his eyes say another. So that's how you have to determine it.
I don't know. And then the last one that I'm going to touch on is You.
Nice segue. Jesus Christ.
Whoa. The last one I'm going to. Oh, damn it. I didn't even fucking.
I know. I'm sorry, and I'm not going to edit it out because I'm not.
His
bitter.
wife's making Jesus juice margaritas in the background. Like they're almost done. They're not for us, they're for the kids.
She's filling up something over there. I have no idea what she's doing. Probably slipping a roofie in my drink. But You on Netflix, which I know, Hornacek, you've watched, which I believe was originally a Lifetime show or something.
Which is crazy because
Yeah.
Cycly first recommended it to me on the pod, and I was like, "Does it feel like a Lifetime show?" And the only thing he really said that makes it feel like a cable TV show, and maybe you'll agree with this, is like the times where you can tell, like, oh, that was definitely like where they wanted to build suspense and then cut to commercial.
Yeah. Oh, it was a little fucked up because you're not watching like Netflix or any streaming service. Yeah, I was on to cut, and then it would cut right back to the same scene. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, like what the fuck? Did I blink for like a really long time? Why did that happen?
I paid $70 a month and my internet's cutting out. What the hell is this?
Spoilers, Thurman. What did you think about it?
I thought it was really good. I'm trying to think back on it. Finished it a while back. But
Couple things I know. Number one, Beck, total horn dog.
oh yeah, and I mean it's kind of a common theme throughout the whole series. She's a mess, as they say.
One of the horniest
Stay
fictional
quiet.
characters I've ever seen.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, you would start to like somebody, and then they do something fucked up, and then the other person, you'd start to sympathize with them, and then they would do something fucked up, and then you keep on moving on. And it was just like a constant rotation of like hating people and then going back to liking them. I didn't know what to do.
It's like Friends from College in that way, but then in no
Yeah, it
other
kinda
way.
is. Yeah.
Geiger, you'll like this. There's a girl in it named Peach, and somehow she is not a stripper. She does not take her clothes off for money.
No.
I'm already lost.
And even would you find this weird, because my wife sympathized with Peach and she actually liked her character and liked her personality because she felt like she had the best interest of Beck the whole time, even though she was just a complete bitch.
I'm gonna have to talk to your wife more about this next time I see her.
Okay.
A few follow-up questions, but I did not really find anything redeeming about Peach.
Thank you. We can gang up on her next time.
In fact, her character was so loathing, I don't think I will ever eat a peach again.
No, I'm a nectarine guy now.
But also, it has to be either or. You can't fucking lines drawn in the sand. Last thing, Nate, again, non-spoilers if you can. The way season 1 ended, are you excited about a season 2, or are you worried we're going to get into a territory where, like, I could see season 2 being like, here's too many fucking plot threads, we can't tie them all up, but are you intrigued?
I am. With this show, I just don't know where it could go, as instead of him repeating basically kind of his obsession and his stalkerness like throughout the whole thing. I don't know where they could go where it would be way different. I still feel like it'd be the same common themes. So I'd be willing to give it a chance. I just don't, and I'd be really interested to see where they could go and how they could make a difference. But that's where I would be afraid it would go. It'd just go back to kind of the same thread of what he was doing the first season.
And if there's one message I got from it, it's don't read books.
Ever.
Don't read.
Read a long article on the internet, but that's it.
Correct, because that's unbiased and will really just be all the information you need to form an opinion.
Yeah. But I kind of want to go along with the whole Netflix thing, but that's kind of what I've been watching lately.
All right, Geiger, I'll let you get in a second. I watched about 8 things, so let me do like a few of mine, and then you can. How many did you watch? Maybe you do.
I'm just going to talk about one thing. I'm different than you guys.
I have problems, yeah. So here's a few things I watched. It's on Netflix again, Mulan, to get me pumped up for the live action one we get in about a year. Holy shit, dude. Mulan fucks hard. I mean,
I wish we saw that scene.
right? It's in the extended cut, which is difficult to get your hands on, not through the dark web. But the song they sing when they're getting ready to fight the Huns, I'm not even kidding. I was like on my couch, that played. I was like, I gotta go to the fucking gym. Be a man. I'm like, well,
The
I'm fucking,
Huns.
yeah, I'm doing some bicep curls right now.
Let's
Fuck the
get
Huns.
down to business.
Huh! And they have like their sticks.
Love
So
it.
Mulan fucks. Eddie Murphy in it is surprisingly unfunny on a rewatch as Mushu,
Really?
but everyone else is really really good, and the music is Jesus. The animation actually is really good for the time it was made as well.
Yeah.
I also watched The Greatest Showman, the musical starring Wolverine and Troy Bolton from high school. Oh, sorry, Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron.
It's a good movie.
It is.
I
So
liked
you've seen it too. Yeah, both of you guys have.
From a lot of my colleagues, like at work or anything, if I've ever mentioned it, they like downplay it and they kind of think it's a cheesy kid movie. I thought it was very entertaining.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fine.
My fiance requested that I download all the music from it afterwards, so that's on my fucking workout playlist now.
With
Nice.
the ugly chick with the sideburns that looks like a mule sings, it's really good. You know what
Yeah.
song I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. First off, Rebecca Ferguson, who plays like the opera singer, she's in Mission Impossible Fallout, so I have to give her a shout out and some love. But yeah, the scene based on her showing cleavage and also having a beard was just really difficult for
Yeah.
me to wrap my head around.
I mean, I'm sure she's not that ugly in real life. If she is, we'll cut out all I just said. But
Yeah. Again,
it's a good song.
Banner's not editing it, so I'm sorry guys, nothing's getting cut out
Okay.
today. I'm just gonna raw dog this
Fuck
onto
yeah.
YouTube. Two things real quick, and then I'll let Geiger jump in. I rewatched actually. Check out our original review on this because I still think, and Geiger might agree, it's the best opening to any review we've ever done. And this is the 2017 version live action of Beauty and the Beast. This is back on Netflix. It's the one we open with the bonjour.
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 The movie itself, it almost feels like a parody of Beauty and the Beast. Like they're kind of making fun of it, which sucks. The animated one kicks the shit out of this movie, but there are some cool scenes. Like I love Ian McKellen as the clock. Emma Watson, please text me back. 7. I don't want to text you again a 9th time in a row, but
You
like
don't
I
remember.
come on, man. I don't know. I just wasn't. This was the one movie like really got me thinking. Fuck, dude. If all these Disney live action movies are like this, I don't know. And we're gonna talk about that in Protein Shake at the end. But Beauty and the Beast 2017, not a huge fan of it. And then last one before I throw it over to Geiger, I saw Blockers, the
But
movie.
Chuck.
John
But
Cena
Chuck.
one.
I loved Blockers, dude. I declared 2018, Geiger and I both did at the beginning of the year, as the year comedy would come back, and I got to include this movie in part of what makes it such a strong case. Dude, it's fucking funny. Ike Barinholtz is hilarious. You can pretty much ignore John Cena because Ike Barinholtz and Leslie Mann steal the show, and they're kids. They're high school kids who they're like chasing all night because they have access to their phone through the cloud, and they're pretty sure they're all gonna fuck their dates after prom. Their kids are hilarious, and it's a super relatable situation because we can all remember your main goal in high school, regardless of what it was to somehow sneak it past your parents. And that's like a huge premise of the movie and something I could really relate to. So I thought Blockers was really funny. Nate, have you seen it too?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. Obviously, the butt chug scene is insanely over the top. But it still laughed my ass off. And yeah, no, I thought it was, like I said, if a movie entertains me, I don't care if it's cheesy or corny or whatever. As long as I can be entertained and enjoy it, I'm fine.
Exactly. That's the main goal when watching film. All right, Geiger, what do you got?
Okay, so I watched some old stuff, and I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about a TV show either, because Mr. and Mrs. Geiger love fucking award shows, and the Grammys were this week.
Oh yeah.
And usually I leave award shows, especially the Grammys, very pissed off about how far we've fallen in music. However, this year, I'll be damned if the last 3 days at the gym I've listened to so many of the people that performed at the Grammys. Now, rock isn't back, which is my favorite genre of music. It's still struggling. Country hasn't turned totally to Southern rock like I'd like it to. I mean, Chris Stapleton, Brothers Osborne was there. But rap and hip-hop is on fire right now. And
Kendrick
Childish
Lamar
Gambino
won for
finally-
Black Panther, right?
What's that?
something from Black Panther one. I don't know if it was Kendrick Lamar's
Uh,
song.
I don't remember that. Do remember Childish Gambino finally broke through and was like the first hip hop person to like win a Grammy for best song, which is This Is America.
Yeah,
This is a fantastic fucking song. That dude is extremely talented. And talking about how I'm a fan of rap and hip hop, especially old school stuff, but now new stuff, I'm just kind of like, dude, I've already heard about Guns and Hose enough. This guy is, dare I say, like a John Lennon meets fucking Bob Marley type guy. Childish Gambino, I'm sure a lot of you already know who he is. Donald Glover, who we talk about all the time on his actor in, but very good. Janelle Monáe did Make Me Feel, which I really never was into her, but she could play guitar. She dances like Michael Jackson. Her performance was fucking fantastic. Alicia Keys hosted it. If you guys haven't seen
dances like she touches little boys?
What?
No.
Huh?
Oh, allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, he fucking did it. Like,
okay. Continue.
Alicia Keys, who hosted it, but she also did an awesome. If you guys haven't checked this out, go to YouTube, or we can like link it below. But she does a fucking awesome, like, what do you even call that? I don't. She was playing two pianos, but she was singing songs that she wished she was singing songs she wished she wrote. So she did everything from Lauryn Hill to Use Somebody, Kings of Leon and then she finally ended with Empire State of Mind. The only thing down about the show, Lady Gaga's performance, I wasn't disappointed in it. It was just weird. However, I think she's trying to save her best performances when Bradley Cooper's actually there at the Oscars. But it was a very good show. J-Lo performed. Dolly Parton was honored, and she did some songs. Finally,
I saw Dolly Parton's performance. That was a little rough, but I get it. She's in the twilight of her career, so that's totally.
It was, and then some of the girls there, like Katy Perry and Miley, tried to make it all about them and like oversang shit. But I thought Casey Musgraves did a very good job. She won a couple awards for the night. But it was a good thing in music. I was finally glad to actually see people perform that could actually play instruments. Post Malone had a good one. The Chili Peppers do what the Chili Peppers do and shove their new shit down your throat that sucks because they won't play any of their old stuff. But they were there if you're into the Chili Peppers, which I kind of am. But it was a very good show. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out or just YouTube some of the performances. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah. So a few things. Yeah, I heard Gaga's performance was not great. And obviously once she got out of her like poker face phase and actually like started singing, I know she's really becoming very popular and like being known for her vocals, which I've seen her perform at some of the awards shows and it's been great. So I think she did one with Tony Bennett a couple of years ago, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's like legendary. That one.
Yeah, I know. And then Miley, I heard was shitty on stage. It sounded like someone said it sounded like she was trying to like mock Dolly or something, which she wouldn't do. Just like her voice, I don't know what she was doing because like that's her like godmother or something.
That's just what Miley does. Yeah, because her dad's Billy Ray Cyrus, Jeff.
I know,
but
has
one better song than me.
But Dolly Parton, I feel in my head like she's 23 years older than even Billy Ray Cyrus, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
she's 73.
Godmother. She's her godchild. And then also, I'm glad you're really digging Childish Gambino now. So now when we go golfing, you might enjoy a little of my rap that I'm playing. Are you into Logic at all? Do you know Logic?
Not really. I'm into Travis Scott a lot. Travis Scott fucks. The song he picked at the Grammys, I didn't think was, one of the best songs he could have went with, but I did dig the performance.
Yeah, I know, because we usually, if we're not in the same cart while we're golfing, we usually have like dueling pianos. He's got Hotel California going, and I've got like Every Day by Logic. Sometimes they mash up really well. It's nice.
Well, I listen to like country when I golf and classic rock. I listen to like rap and hard rock when I work out. It's weird.
I see.
I love that the Broforce Squad for just a few minutes has dipped our toe into music. I will say, before we move on, there are two music videos every time I go over to Nate Thurman's house to drink excessively that we watch on repeat. The first one is It Ain't Me by, of course, my girlfriend-to-be, Selena Gomez. The second is This Is America.
This Is America is a fantastic video.
Yeah, great video, great song. Yeah, I love watching it and going through and trying to like find all the hidden meaning that he's put in there.
It's kind of a tradition for Nate and I. We, up until about 3 in the morning, we pause videos and psychoanalyze them. I'm just going to buy laser pointers for both of us.
This Is America you can do that with. Redbone is probably my favorite song, which if you've seen Get Out, it plays as like the opening scene of Get Out.
That is not a great music video to watch because It's just the person.
No, not like that's just my.
But no,
favorite
the song. The song is great. Yeah.
Is the opening scene the one where the guy gets abducted in the white
No,
neighborhood?
it's when after that when he's in the shower and his girlfriend's picking him up. He's playing Redbone in his apartment.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right, I have a few things quickly that I'll get to. I watched the movie Edge of 17 with Haley Steinfeld and Woody Harrelson. Pretty good movie. I think it might be based on a book. Banner would know. Unfortunately, he's not here to tell us. It's basically like a coming-of-age movie. It's fine. I mean, if you haven't seen Edge of 17, I'm not going to be like, you need to fucking watch this now. But Woody Harrelson's funny in it. Don't quite get enough of him. All right, this one, Banner, I'm glad he's not on the pod to contest me on it. I watched this movie Polar on Netflix.
Oh boy, here we go.
Banner is willing to die at the stake for this film. Stars Mads Mikkelsen and Vanessa Hudgens. The plot, as Banner described in a previous episode, Mads Mikkelsen is a hitman who is about 2 or 3 days away from retiring, and the company that he works for, the Hitman Company, is trying to have him assassinated so that they don't have to pay him this massive retirement pension. The movie, though, is basically like just gratuitous, in your face. Look, we don't have much. We don't know how to tell this story. So here's somebody getting stabbed in the dick or having their nipple cut off. Look, I don't mind gratuitous violence. In fact, I fucking love it. But it works in like a Tarantino movie or like a Guy Ritchie film when there's something behind it or like witty dialogue. This has none of that.
So I know I've talked to you and Banner about this, and I saw something, I don't know, online the other day, and that's what tempted me to watch it. And also, I hear there's sex scenes with tits in it, so that kind
many of them, yes.
That kind of tickled my fancy as well. I kind of want to battle through it just for that. But I read some of the things that happen in there, and like I said, I mean, I watch Game of Thrones, I watch Frontier, and all these other things that, I mean, there's blood and gore and all this kind of stuff. But if it's like up close of a guy getting his head drilled in with a power drill or his nipple getting cut off, and it's pretty up close and personal, I don't know if I can do that.
A nipple is cut off in the film. I won't tell you when it happens, but it.
Yeah, I read that.
And they don't pan away.
I know I mean, you can show me like a bit and then cut away, but yeah, like you said, just being gratuitous just to be gratuitous. I mean, I think
I yelled at the TV as they're cutting off the nipple. We get it.
Do men need nipples? Like, what do they really do? I mean, it hurt, but it's not like losing an ear.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Can you milk me?
I have a few more, but you know what? I'm gonna just cock tease you guys. I'll save them for the next episode. So let's chill to the next episode. All right, I don't really know how to segue into "Do you even lift, bruh?" without Banner here to do his like parrot voice. So the last part of our show is our question and answer segment, where we dig up questions from around the internet and answer them on here. It's called "Do you even lift, bruh?"
Bruh.
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 Bruh. All right, we have 3 questions today. Our first one comes to us from Ryan at Ryan Film Lover, who says, "Best movie with a dog in it."
Love it.
Nate, you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I'll go through a few here. Let me check my notes. Joke about Marley and Me. I don't know if that's something.
Oh, God.
I'll move on to the next one. Don't worry about that. But honestly, my number one, probably you got to dip back into the childhood, go back to 8-year-old Thurman, finding out what boners are and where not to stick them. But I'm going to go with Homeward Bound.
Ooh, forgot about Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
Chance and Shadow.
Man, that's a really great one.
What an ending to that.
You have the animals talking, but it's not like CGI or animated where the mouths are moving. So you still get that real feel of the animal, but you also get that connection with them because they're also speaking and everyone's hearing them in the audience. But yeah, that's a great one.
Homeward Bound. I haven't seen Homeward Bound in probably like 20 years. The humans can't hear them talk in that, right? It's just the animals. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And honestly, the issue with this question is that I know of a bunch that I like, but I honestly have not seen them in like 15 years. So I'm trying to go way deep into my memory bank here to pull out like what happened. I know there's the journey and everything, but that's one of the ones that stuck with me growing up. And then another one and I can't remember this one much as well, but I know growing up I watched this a ton, was Beethoven. That was another great one. I think it came out in
Geiger loves Beethoven.
early
It
90s.
is a great one. Beethoven 2 is just as good as Beethoven 1 also.
I need to go back and rewatch, but
What the fuck are these dog movies for kids now? Like, that's disgusting that they don't get to grow up with any of this shit.
Bolt, I guess.
Sure, man.
Animated bullshit.
Geiger, before you go, I just thought of one that is probably better than either of any of the ones I put, but Up is a really great use of the dog.
I was brainstorming with my wife earlier, and that's the one she mentioned.
Squirrel.
Geiger,
what do you got?
So this has very sentimental value for me because whenever I was just a little Geiger in my parents' house, whenever you open the pantry door, we had a poster of this, and this is how I measured my height to see how tall I'd get. And that's All Dogs Go to Heaven. With a great cast. Rest in peace, Burt Reynolds, who played Charlie, because Charlie was at the very top, which is about 5 feet, about 4.5, 5 feet. So when I was just a little chap, I'd look up there. I'm like, just keep eating your vegetables, buddy, because once you reach there, you're going to start getting ass.
Yep.
And one day
I think it
get up
says
to
that
Charlie,
next to the
and
line.
I got up to Charlie's height, and I started getting ass. It was about in 4th grade. It was awesome.
Not a coincidence.
Dom DeLuise is Itchy. Charles Nelson Riley is in there as Killer. Fucking great movie, man.
God, I love that movie.
Is that on Netflix? It should be on Netflix.
It should be. What the fuck, Netflix? Nate Thurman.
That would be on Netflix.
Nate Thurman boasts you up. You don't even have All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Come on, guys. I know you got the money.
Seriously.
Casey Burt just chewing his gums. Like, hey, you want to do a voice actor for this kid? He's like, yeah, sure, I can do it. Whatever.
So I put Air Bud, but now that I thought about it, go back and listen to our movie commentary on Air Bud because the movie is really bad on a rewatch, and not even like in a fun way. There's like nowhere near enough of the dog playing basketball, and way too much of this emo 13-year-old kid like just dealing with shit that I don't want to see him have to deal with. So I take Air Bud off the list. I'm going to go Turner and Hooch, of course, with Tom Hanks, classic. And then one that I think is going to be a little bit forgotten, I guess both of them, but John Wick. And, of course, John Wick 2. The dog plays a massive role in the film. If you haven't seen John Wick, do it. You need to. Great question, Ryan. Go Dogs.
Next song.
That's one song in the bank.
Go Dogs.
Our next question comes to us from Chris Flaherty, if I could fucking speak, the first Avenger at Chris Flair tweet, and he says, of the 3 Disney remakes coming to theaters this year, Aladdin, Dumbo, and The Lion King, which do you think will be the worst? All right, so I'm just going to classify these the way I see them, and then I'll let Geiger go first because I know he has a huge Jon Favreau fan. Huge. So these fall into 3 categories. Lion King, definitely the highest expectations, right? That's like a top 10 movie of all time, I think, for most people that I associate with. Yeah. So Lion King, highest expectations. Dumbo, lowest expectations. So if you're talking about like you walk in the theater, what's the odds Dumbo disappoints you? Well, I don't think you're the fucking person they were going for if that disappoints you, right? Like whether it's good or bad, you shouldn't be expecting that much of it. And then Aladdin looks the shittiest by far, I have to say. I mean, Geiger had a great tweet after that last trailer. What the hell was that? Let's figure this shit out before it's in theaters because that can't be it. So Geiger, I'll let you go first. Of those 3, which is going to be the fucking worst based on, you have to sort of grade them on a curve, I think, right?
Yeah, we're still hungover from the Will Smith CGI disaster that was. They played that at the Grammys, actually. That's the first time I saw it. I'm just like, Jesus, what the hell is that? You couldn't look away. But we kind of did that to ourselves because we wanted him to be blue. I think Dumbo will be the best movie, simply for what you said, low expectations. I don't want to say it's going to be too good because then you guys are going to pressure me to go see it and do a review on opening weekend. But Tim Burton... That's his kind of movie, man. And he's got a cast that he's familiar with Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito from his Batman days. And I think he'll make it just weird enough, but just Disney enough to be kind of artsy, kind of how he like missed the boat on Alice in Wonderland. I think he's going to hit on this one. Lion King, I think, is going to be split down the middle. I think there's going to be some people, I think it's mostly going to be 90s kids like us, that are going to fucking hate this movie just because they're going to do just one thing different on probably our most beloved movie ever. And I think this other split will be, I think the songs will be better than the original because you got Beyonce and fucking Donald Glover in it. So, I mean, they could sing better than Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I think
You bite
Aladdin
your
will.
tongue.
I think Aladdin will be the worst. It looks like a high school play whenever I see the trailer, and they have no fucking clue what they're going to do with Will Smith. For the first time in my life, I feel bad for Will Smith, which is someone I really don't like, but he's really in a bad fucking place right now. Not only can he not hold a candle to Robin Williams, he doesn't know if he's going to be fucking blue or what color is he going to be. I feel bad for him. It sucks.
The internet, especially Twitter, fucking destroyed them. Like
Especially
with the
it looked absolutely terrible.
oh my god,
What they should do is he should be in his normal skin, but have just like kind of like shades of blue depending on where the light hits him or something. That's what
the
they should
Arrested Development tweets to that were god damn it hilarious.
do. That's gonna be the worst.
Yeah, so I'm coming in kind of blind on this. Obviously, I knew all these were coming out. Haven't done too much research on them. Actually, I'm really excited to hear that Dumbo is being done by Tim Burton because I think that could be pretty exciting. And
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot.
yeah,
I'll give Home Back another shot.
kind of to what Geiger was saying, like he missed the mark on Alice in Wonderland. But I think there's too much weird shit in Alice in Wonderland to where he tried to overdo it.
Yeah.
I think Dumbo is dumbed down enough, pun intended, to where he can just add a little weirdness into there.
I think overdoing it is the best fucking way to describe Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Just a little.
And to that point, and to the point of me not doing any research or looking into any of these, and I've read a few things about this several months ago, but I haven't looked into it since. Is Lion King going to be shot for shot remake?
They say close. So Favreau's doing that, who did the Jungle Book, and then Guy Ritchie is doing Aladdin, which is interesting. But
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I knew.
Extremely interesting.
they're gonna neuter the fuck out of him, obviously.
Is Aladdin supposed to be the same way, kind of shot for shot?
I think that one, based on the trailer, they're taking a lot more liberties with.
Okay. Yeah.
They should
agree,
just
Geiger?
go right to Return of Jafar. I mean, they could probably make that one better.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I like it.
I guess. How do you perfect Return of Jafar? How dare you? It's a fucking perfect film.
But yeah, I think I'm most excited for Lion King. Obviously, it has the most expectations. I think Jeff kind of lined it out perfectly with his. Lion King has the highest expectations. Dumbo probably has the lowest, but I'm excited to see all three of them.
Yeah, which of them has a bigger chance of someone like raging in the theater and cussing? Lion King? If someone does that in your Dumbo theater, just ask them if everything's okay at home. Because
What drugs are you on? And
Yeah, relax. Yeah, sell them to me in the bathroom before this. All right, last question comes to us from Kylo Ben at Hero Complex with an X and Complex spelled with a K. That's a pretty cool fucking Twitter handle. And this one is going to get one of us killed, if not all of us. He asks, what's a popular or hugely influential film that you've never seen that would make your fellow movie peers look at you like? And then he tweeted a hilarious photo of an impressionist painting of a guy doing like a what the fuck face. So basically, what's a movie? I actually have a show for one of mine as well that you haven't seen that you're like embarrassed to tell people. Oh, I actually haven't seen that. Nate, we'll go to you first.
Yeah, I've got a few, but off the top of my head, I know the biggest one is the Matrix trilogy. I have never seen
You're fine.
any of the Matrix, and I know that's one of the biggest ones. And then beyond that, there's not too many big recent ones or anything that I haven't seen that people would scoff at me for. But there are a ton of the older ones, like the one who flew over Cuckoo's Nest or Raging Bull, which I might want to see sometimes. Citizen Kane and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I've not seen Citizen Kane.
They're
Yeah.
dated though. They're extremely dated. It's hard to watch.
Exactly, and I find myself I hate it because I get into them and I know everyone. Oh, these are great movies. They're ranked so high.
Are they, or are they
I'm
just like
bored.
trained to say that, like monkeys?
You know, that's the point that I've really gotten to in my life. I think everyone liked them when they came out in the '60s, before people had balls to write good movies. So yeah, there's a ton of old ones like Citizen Kane and things like that I've never seen. But the Matrix trilogy, I've never seen any one of those movies. That's probably the biggest one for me.
That's fine because there's really only one good movie, and the second one has like an awesome 15-minute action set piece. But besides that, it's
Good. Not missing much.
all right. Geiger, how about you?
So, I love Goodfellas. I love Casino. I love Peroni. I love Spaghetti. But I could not get into Sopranos. I've never watched it. I've tried to watch one episode, and all my Italian friends are just like, "Yo, you need to watch that fucking show, man. You like it." But I just can't get into it, and I don't know why. And people look at me differently. In a movie, I've watched half an hour of this finally, and it was last week. But I've never seen The Big Lebowski.
Wow.
Oh,
On
damn.
Netflix.
All right.
And I hate saying that because we just lost like 80 subscribers because it's like these guys are who they say they are.
Geiger's full of shit.
Fucking
I'm
fake.
taking my Geiger poster down in my
Talks
bedroom.
about smoking weed. He doesn't even fucking know what it is.
That White Russian you had last weekend was a lie.
I did like
Probably
it
just
though.
milk.
I've liked what I've seen. I just had to go do something else. But I did laugh my ass off about 10 times. But yeah, I never saw it till I think it was like last Thursday. It was raining. I just decided to watch it.
Geiger, can I make, and Nate Thurman will, this is blasphemy around him, but here's a proclamation. Beach Bum this year, in 5 years, we'll be saying it's our generation's Big Lebowski.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Well, we have audio evidence if it does happen. All right, I have a couple that I'm going to get. This will be my last pod, guys, because my body, like Harris James in True Detective, deep cut reference. Check out our True Detective reviews. It's just going to go missing after I say some of these. All right, not a movie, but I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we know.
You're well aware.
Check
We're
out
so
our Black
disappointed.
Panther movie commentary where I call you out on that.
And it's weird because I know I would like it. Like, I absolutely would like it. I just...
Yeah.
That is my biggest anomaly with you. I don't know. You're like, yeah, I'd like it. I know
I
I
would
would.
love it. Yeah.
You want to watch
everything
an
I
episode? Nah, I'm good. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense. At this point, it's almost like what if people would be suspicious if I like what would have compelled me now to start watching it. So Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a couple out there that I'm kind of embarrassed to admit. I've never seen Blazing Saddles. I've seen every other Mel Brooks film, but not Blazing Saddles.
Overrated. It's not as good as Spaceballs.
Oh, that's rough. I don't know.
It's a good movie, but Spaceballs is like probably one of the greatest comedies ever, I think.
I also have not seen Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Which again, not too compelled to go see that because everything I've heard is like, yeah, it's not good. It actually is not good. Two Stanley Kubrick movies that I have not seen. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Never got to check out, which a lot of people laud as like maybe the greatest science fiction movie of all time. Couldn't tell you. And then also, this is super fucking weird if you know me because I've literally read, and I'm a fucking teacher. I've read 2 books in the last 11 years. One of them is The Shining. I've never seen the movie. My life makes no sense.
It's a good Halloween watch.
We'll have to do that this year. But I've read The Shining.
Halloween.
I've read The Shining and never seen the movie. I don't really have a defense for that as well. Also, the last one, and I knew I was going to get really, like, actually murdered for this.
If you didn't say this when I was going to bring it up because I saw it in the notes.
Yeah, but don't spoil anything from me because I've heard it as a great twist, but I've never seen Reservoir Dogs.
Someone might shoot you for that.
Yeah, and I deserve it. Guys, I'm not on my own side here. That's what we need to understand.
Greatest Tarantino movies ever.
That was a great question, Kylo Ben. Thank you for asking that. I think, again, more therapy for us today. Like, we get to come clean about something. All right, guys, before we let the people go, a little bit longer episode than usual, but when you got the fire, we're not going to put it out. Nate,
bring the fire.
Anything you want to let the people leave with? Mr. Thurman.
Oh, me. No, not really. The only thing that's really on my mind is I'm just super excited for April 14th because that is going to be Master Sunday. And then once I'm done jizzing all over my couch, I can just sit there, relax, and watch the Season 8 premiere of Game of Thrones. It's going to be the best Sunday of the year, in my opinion.
I would get one of those plastic tarp things and just put it over the couch.
No, I'm not into that.
Geiger, before I give you your last statement, are we dropping our Tin Cup commentary that weekend or a different weekend?
U.S. Open weekend.
Nice.
We'll probably drop Legend of Bagger Vance Masters weekend.
Ooh, Little tickle of the balls there. Look for that coming from the Bro Force Squad. Geiger, what's your parting thoughts to the kids who look up to you as a role model?
Yeah, I wrote a 20-page thesis paper on global warming that I'd like to read to everyone right now.
Awesome. Thanks, man. All right. For the American hero, Nate Thurmond, and our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger, I am the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. Thank you for checking out the Bro Force Squad podcast. Please follow us on Twitter at Bro Force Squad. Check out all of the reviews that I write and Banner shits on me for doing at letterboxd.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Just type in Bro Force Squad, 3 separate words. And check out everything that we do and our squad blog on our website, broforcesquad.com. Thanks, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Did you spell check the essay, or is it pretty sloppy at this point?
It's a pretty rough draft.
How much did you pay someone to write that? I know you didn't write that shit yourself.
Bullshit.
I have a ghostwriter.